Thank you for joining me for week 3 of the collaboration. Our quote this week is from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll, and it's, "I can't go back to yesterday because I was a different person then." Our colors this week are pink, turquoise, and dark blue, and our design element is honeycomb shape. So I'm using this honeycomb stencil from Strathmore, and my paints are from Deco Art. I'm stenciling in this light turquoise color over the pink background that I've already painted onto a 9 by 11 sheet of watercolor paper. I decided just to work straight onto one piece of paper this time instead of in my journal, just for something a little bit different. So now I am using a watercolor pencil from Caran d'Ache. It's a Super Color 2 Soft, and it's a colored pencil, and I'm just using that to outline inside of the honeycomb shapes on my stencil. Now I'm adding a little bit of background collage with some papers out of a book, and also I'm going to be adding some pink pages from a vintage prescription that I found a whole collection of those at a flea market one time. And I kind of love the book pages in here because they talk about creativity. And one of the quotes on one of the pieces, it says, "And don't ask me why I write them. Dancers dance, painters paint, singers sing, and writers write." Now I'm going to add a little bit more interest with one of my handmade stamps made out of fun foam, using a dark blue paint. This first paint that I'm using is kind of a dark blue-gray. It's a tree stamp. If you want to learn how to make those, I do have an online class in it. I decided to switch to a more vibrant blue color just for a little bit more of a pop, and I'm going to spread these trees all over my page. And just for kicks, I'm adding some rectangles using the cosmetic sponge that I used to put the paint onto this stamp with. It's just kind of an interesting design element, adds a little bit more color to the background. So now I'm placing my top level collage elements onto the page just to kind of get an idea of where I want them to be in relationship to the other elements, and to make sure I've got everything in place before I start to actually add them to the collage. All of the collage elements in this piece kind of speak to the quote from Alice in Wonderland. We have a little Alice over there on the side, and the idea of not being who you used to be is spoken to by the caterpillar and the butterfly, and the idea of transformation. And I didn't actually use the quote on the page because I think it just really says everything that I need it to say without adding the quote to it. And I've got the little bunny down there, of course, for the March hare in Alice in Wonderland. So I like the way that elements were arranged on the background, but I feel like it just needs one more thing. And so I'm going back in with my honeycomb stencil and a darker pink color to add just a little bit more interest going on in the background before I do the top level collage. So now I've got my top level collage laid out again just to remind me where everything's going to go. And I'm taking the very top pieces off so I can start to glue down the bottom layer of collage. I've got some really nifty postage stamps here. I love them. They add just a little bit of interest in the background on a piece like that without taking over things. There's color and pattern and movement going on with them, so they're a fun little element to add in just for some background interest. So now I'm just going to go around some of these collage elements like the butterfly and the caterpillar because the white edge around them is kind of stark. I don't fussy cut, so I'm going to go back in with a little bit of paint here to kind of push that white back so it's not such a stark edge around each of those pieces. So, hey, I love glitter, and I just really felt like this piece needed some turquoise glitter. The Galaxy glitter from Deco Art is awesome. It's like all different sizes, so it looks like glitter as it would occur in the wild. I kind of love it, so I felt like I needed to go ahead and add that in, just sprinkling it all over the page. I'm loving how it looks, but I want to do one more thing around the edges of some of these collage pieces, especially the bunny and the dove, the butterfly, the caterpillar, and the little girl, just to make them stand out a little bit more. So I am using a Stabilo Woody oil pencil, and I'm just kind of going around the edge of those pieces, and then I'm going to use a little bit of the Deco Art decoupage medium to smear that out. That just kind of makes it look like a shadow along the edge of the piece and makes it pop up off of the background. So I'm going to do that around all of those top level collage pieces. I hadn't originally planned to add this little quote on here, "Dare to be a work of art." It's cut from a magazine. But once I got my page almost finished, I just really feel like it needs to be there. And that really speaks to the idea of transformation too. I think it works really well with the page of not being who you used to be and transforming into a work of art. I was feeling like I needed to add just a little bit more at the top of the page, and especially of the trees, because I kind of only had those in the bottom half. I need just that one more design element of the trees to go in the top area of the page too. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're inspired to make your own page and to dare to be a work of art and to think about that quote, "I can't go back to yesterday because I was a different person then."